So you are getting ready to close out on your new home. What in the world's going on behind the scenes? Hi, I'm Charlotte Mabry with Keller Williams Realty, and let's talk today about closing out on your new home. You know, there are so many things that are going on behind the scenes to get that home ready to close. For example, the contract that you've written, it's being reviewed to make sure all your contingencies are met, that your loan information is correct and your name's typed out properly. All those things are happening that last week just before closing. And your loan, it's being verified that all the funds are there, that you met all the terms of your loan process, that your employment has been verified. Oh my gosh, they're checking your credit again. That typically happens the day before closing. So there are a lot of moving parts and things happening in your loan process that day or so just before closing. The week prior to that, typically your deed is being checked out, the brand new deed you're going to get on your property. There's title search and title work happening where they go in and make sure that you're really buying the property, there's no liens on the property, something that would surprise you down the road, and they're preparing the title insurance policy for you to ensure that the title is free and clear. Now, if you've gotten a survey ordered on your property, that survey will be hopefully there by then, and they'll verify that, make sure it matches up with the actual written description of your property. Now, as part of all this, you should be doing a final walkthrough. So again, that last few days, you and your agent will be walking through to make sure that the house is still in good working order, everything was just like what you purchased. We typically recommend doing that maybe the day before closing. Now, you will get this thing called a closing disclosure, and it breaks down all of your closing costs, and that's a good chance for you to verify and check all of those numbers. You received an estimate of closing costs when you started the process, so you need to get that out and lay it down beside your closing disclosure and make sure they're close. I mean, they're not going to be exact, but they should just be a few dollars off. And the lender typically sends that closing disclosure out to you 3 to 4 days prior to closing. That's a requirement so that you can check it out. Now, on the day of closing, it's exciting, and you know, you've heard the story, particularly if you've done this before, you need to bring both hands with you, right? Because you're going to sign a lot of papers. In a cash transaction, there's a few papers. In a conventional loan situation, there are a few more papers. And if you're doing a government loan like an FHA or a VA or some other loan like that, just be prepared to sign for a while, okay? There are a lot of papers and a lot of duplicate papers there, so just be ready for that. Once you've signed all of that mess, then your actual deed is sent to the courthouse for you, recorded at the courthouse with its own book and page number. Then that actual document is sent back to the title company typically, and they send it on to you. So you should get the actual deed to your property, I'd say 2 to 6 weeks after closing. So there are a lot of moving parts. You want to be sure that in particular, you've verified that closing disclosure and all of your closing costs before you sign on the dotted line. Now, if you're thinking of selling or maybe even buying either one, before you get off of my video today, check around the bottom of our page here. There's some buttons you can click on with more information on houses for sale or how to sell your home. That information is great. But should you have questions on maybe the title work or the title process or anything like that, I'm happy to answer those for you. Just send me an email, charlotte@charlottemabryteam.com, and I'll be happy to help you with any of that. Thanks again for watching our video blog, and I hope you have a fantastic day.